Good afternoon, everyone. This is Amrozish Mushtaq, today's show of CxO Talk. Today, we have a very special guest with us. He's associated with NEC Corporation as a change manager, and let's talk to him about his journey so far. Assalamu alaikum, Sir Mushtaq Rehman. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Walaikum salam, Amrozish.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Yeah. Hope you're doing well too.
Oh, great. Sir, I would like to know from you about your journey so far as a change manager.
Okay, so my journey actually started as a chartered accountant. I worked for some accountancy practices and other commercial organizations. And then I moved into SAP consultancy and worked for some global organizations like Nestle and others. And then I went to Saudi Aramco about 20 years ago, where I went initially to work on a global SAP implementation. But gradually I moved into more people side of change management, managing business transformation, digital transformation projects, because I enjoy that side of the business, the people side, the culture. That's where my passion lies. So changed my career 3 times already.
You have a diversified career history. So I would like to know from you that what has changed management and how you jumped into this career.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very good question. Change management is actually managing the people side of any change, whether it's technology or corporate reorganization, mergers, acquisitions, because that is the hardest part as well, because no two people are the same. So we understand the culture of the company, make sure the change is aligned, people are aware of the change and the need for it, and its impact on not on the company but also on them. Often people say, "What's in it for me? Please tell me that." Sometimes they fear that, well, change means I might lose my job. So you have to show them that that's not what it's about. So awareness, that's where it starts. Then any training or learning that needs to take place, so we take care of that as well. So people are ready to embrace the change, and once they have done that, that over time they become good at it. So then we look at proficiency, adoption, and eventual impact on performance.
Right,
So that's,
very explained. While going to I observed you are also involved in transformational change management. What is a transformational change management? As you have explained change management to us, I would like you to explain transformational change for our audience.
yes, the transformation is if you can actually make the change bigger. Uh, Most of the time, it's about changing the business model of the company, or sometimes even replacing it with a. So examples would be Uber or Airbnb, where they brought a totally new business model. So that's a massive change. And you're not just changing, but transforming the entire business of the company and how things are done. That,
Right,
of course, becomes more challenging to manage and sell to the people and get people on board.
right. So, is the role challenging?
It is challenging because again, you're dealing with people, and you're not just dealing with what you can see in terms of what people are doing right now, what are the systems they're using, the processes, but also the culture, the
Right,
unwritten rules of an organization, how things are really done. Because if the change is not aligned with how things are done, the current ways of working, the mindsets, then the change is bound to fail. So that is a challenge. But I do enjoy that part of the change.
what are those traits a change manager should possess to overcome these challenges? Because it's a challenging process.
I think you have the best thing is to put yourself in their shoes, and what also helps is that you have been on the other side of the fence. You have worked in the business, which in my case, that's how I started. I worked as an accountant first before coming into IT or projects. So I understand the user's needs, what is on their mind, i.e., their day-to-day work. So how can you get their attention and their willingness to work with you when they have their day-to-day deliverables? So we work with the leaders to make sure that people are allowed time to work on the projects if we need them as a change network, uh, and also they get recognized for that work that they do on the project, and also speak with them, interview face to face, surveys, etc., to find out what's happening on the ground. So, for example, we run a lot of pulse surveys from time to time to find out what are people really saying. Are they getting the message? Are there any challenges that they think they will face or they're facing? And then take care of any resistance that is there and convert that into more desire and willingness to participate and adopt the change.
Right, right. So, in your opinion, if I talk about uh, youngsters who are entering in this field, the people who are fresh in the field of SAP consultancy, and then they are aiming their career in transformational change management, what would be your one advice for them, and how should they plan their career ahead?
Uh, I think in change management, it helps to, as I said, work in the business, have some regular roles. So you understand, for example, finance, supply chain. If it's a manufacturing company, understand their processes, HR. So get a good all-round experience before you come into change management, because that experience will help you to understand, as I said, what people are going through and what they do on a day-to-day basis. The other thing is being genuinely interested in people, culture. Sometimes I think psychology helps as well. I trained myself in NLP, neuro linguistic programming. I'm a practitioner,
Right,
so I do some life coaching and business coaching on the side, which I enjoy. So understanding human psychology also helps. And yeah, be genuinely interested in people and put yourself in their shoes and look at the change from through their eyes. So if you have that ability to transform and put yourself on the other side and into people's bodies, if you like, and look through their eyes, I think that will help you a lot in managing change and selling the change and getting the people's buy-in.
right. So, as you are associated with global organizations throughout your career, and you have a title of change manager, where do you see yourself in Pakistan scenario, or where a young professional who is aiming a career in change management but is employed in Pakistan? So, where do you see the Pakistan corporate market adopting this particular designation?
Mm. It's interesting because I've spoken with people in Pakistan, in India, in other regions, and change management is always something they struggle. So they always struggle to bring good change managers. So there's
Right,
definitely a demand for this role. And my advice would be those who are interested in change management, as I said, go and work for different organizations, but then get some training in change management because I went through change management training as well. There's a company called ProSci in the US. They're market leaders in change management training. So I went and trained in the US with them. There's another company, organization called Association of Change Management Practitioners. So I'm also a certified change management practitioner through them. They have an exam. So do some formal training and then work on projects. And whatever you're doing right now, just see uh, what is the change. So define what you're actually delivering. Because every day when we go to work, of course, we want to make a change, right? Change could be uh, changing some roles, jobs, processes, structure. Sometimes the companies are merging or acquiring new businesses like NEC and others that I work for. They're always acquiring new businesses. So understand the business model, understand the people and their psychology, understand the culture, and then with some formal training, you can enter this field. Important thing is that change management has to be done in a structured way. For
right,
example, you have to do a solid assessment of the change, the need for change, and organizational readiness for the change, or otherwise. Once you've done your assessment, then you prepare a change management plan, which includes awareness, communication, training, support. And once you've got a good solid plan, as part of that is also doing some stakeholder analysis. Who is involved in the change? Who's impacted by the change? What is the nature of impact? So we do change impact assessments as well. So with all these assessments and analysis and good plans based on that assessment and analysis, then you execute the change or change management plan. But throughout, you're always looking back to see how things are taking place or things are happening on the ground. Do your pulse surveys, talk to people, and based on that, come back and adjust your plans. So never say, okay, I've done my plan, let's implement. No, it's always an iterative process, and always keeping your eyes and your fingers on the pulse of the organization. to see how your change is being perceived and accepted, and define what success will look like. What will actually happen? Is it
Right.
impact on performance, productivity, reduction in errors, uh, it, getting rid of current pains, and all of that? So begin with the end in mind. So when you achieve that, you know that yes, now we have succeeded because we set out to achieve 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have.
You have explained the process very in detail. I have got few insights. So, what is the challenging part of this whole process? And if the failures are associated with this process, how to overcome those?
Mhm. The biggest challenge is to explain what change management is, because often people, even in the business, they think, okay, you guys are the ones who hang posters and banners or do communication. So people don't realize how important the change is. They only find out when the change fails, then they realize, oh, well, we ignored the people side. So that's the main challenge: how to sell change management, educate your leaders. And the other thing is, even if you're the best change manager in the world, you can only do so much, because there is a big role for the leaders as sponsors of change. The leaders are people actually always go back to the leaders. No matter how good I am at communication, and I go to people and try and sell the change to them, they go to the leaders and say, hey, "Is my lead?" And they ask the question, "Is my leader talking about the change? Do they have the buy-in? Are they supporting this change?" If they don't see that visible support from the leaders, then again it'll be hard for the change to happen and for us to sell it. So ability to work with the leaders, feel comfortable dealing with your superiors, because often people get nervous when they're going to the leaders, and especially when they have to ask them to do something for your project. For example, we would go to the leaders and sit with them and say, please, could you come to our event? We are launching a campaign, and when you do come, and I'm sure you talk to the people, please could you mention these 5 points, and then we give it to them. So we kind of
Right.
coaching the leaders as well, which is hard.
Great. So, how would you define a leader?
Okay, so leader, of course, people often say whether leaders are born, they're made. I believe they're made. And to be a leader, you have to really have connection with the people that you would like to lead, uh, understand what motivates them, what influences them. Because at the end of the day, you're an influencer. And the best way to influence people is to know what already is influencing them, what's on their mind, then connect with that. So, for example, in your team, somebody is motivated by recognition. So you make sure that they get enough recognition. Somebody is motivated by challenging work. So make sure they're always challenged. So it's not one size fit all, but tailor it according to your team. Form a good team. We create systems and processes, and set direction and vision as a leader, and then help your people to achieve that vision following the system and processes that you have created with them. And always the important thing is to have empathy and real care and concern for the people, what we call servant leadership. So you're serving your people. Uh, and if you are good to your people, then they will be good to you and to your business. So take care of them, they'll take care of your business. That's what I believe in.
Absolutely. Taking the conversation to a lighter note, after so much information and after so much insights, uh, how do you spend your free time and how do you keep work-life balance?
Yeah, interesting. Good question. So I spend time with my family. So I've got wife, 3 kids. So I usually get involved in activities that they enjoy. For example, I take my son to taekwondo. Sometimes they go rock climbing. I play golf with them. They all like golf. So my elder two at least. So we are taking some golf lessons right now. Uh, I also do some life coaching, business coaching, help entrepreneurs. So I really draw a lot of satisfaction by helping people who are just starting out, because they often have good ideas as entrepreneurs, but they lack the business knowledge and the discipline, especially when it comes to finances and managing their cash flow. So I do a bit of that as well in my free time, and go to the gym. Try to be regular, go for walks, and traveling. Lastly, traveling. I love traveling, so whenever I get a chance. So we're about to go to Glasgow with family for a week. Hope the weather will be good. You can never be sure in this part of the world. It can change anytime. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. So, do you believe in mentorship? or having mentors in professional or personal life, how important they are?
Yeah, of course, I really believe in that, having role models and mentors, because why create a road that somebody else has already created? So I have been lucky to have good mentors in my life, especially on communication and on the business management side. And what I learned from my mentors was how to communicate effectively, how to manage situations, so situation leadership, how to stay calm and make sure that you still achieve the desired outcomes when you're challenged or when you face an unprecedented situation. So mentoring is very important if you can find a role model. And then there are three things, not just do what they're doing. That's the easiest part. You can observe them, you can ask them, but then also understand why they do it. What is their reason behind it? Because often, if you ask them, they will tell you why they do what they do, and that is more important. It might be part of their vision, their how they see themselves, their identity. They would have certain beliefs. They will tell you. So you try and adopt those beliefs. Can I also believe in this? Uh,
Right.
and I'll give you an example. There was one gentleman. He gave a presentation. He's one of my mentors, and after the presentation, the senior VP said, "Well, we have had all the big consultancies in the world come and present to us, uh, and yet this presentation is better than what I've seen before from all of those." So that was a big compliment. So I asked this gentleman what goes through his mind before and during the presentation. What he told me was that when I know my topic, I feel confident. And when I go there, I say, I have something important to tell them. And I would like to tell and share that message with them. So he's going there, not focused on him, but on the message that he wants to deliver. And he has the courage to say, okay, well, because I know about this topic, I've done my research. Even if my bosses know more, but at least I know about this subject enough. So let's see how it goes. And when he starts to go well, he's even more relaxed. And he has this attitude, bring it on, bring it on. He wants challenges. As the first, most people would say, I hope they don't ask difficult questions. I hope I don't get embarrassed. He said, no, bring it on. So that's his mindset. If you can try and adopt that, see if it will work for you, go out there and then practice, practice, practice. So that's, I think, I believe, is the way for young people. Find a mentor, a role model, uh, do what they do, observe and adopt their mindset and behaviors if you can. Ask them at least and try and understand, and then practice. And eventually you'll find your own way, your own style. So don't try and copy them because it may not work for you as is. Everybody is different. So then eventually you'll develop your own style and your own way, but you'll benefit from learning from others first.
Great. Thank you so much, Sir Rehman, for your time today and such an insightful conversation. So I hope our audience has benefited also from this, as I have picked very insightful points from this conversation so far. So that is all from my side for today, and I thank you again for your time. And to our audience, stay with us. Stay tuned for more on CxOGlobal.tv, and we'll catch you with another exciting episode soon. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you, Amrozish. Thank you, CxO. Excellent forum. Totally enjoying it. Very useful. And lots of opportunities to collaborate and network with people. So thank you once again.
Thank you. Thank you.